Now, before we dive into the world of wealth, let me ask you something. When you picture a rich person, what comes to mind? Someone driving a flashy car? Someone living in a massive mansion? Did you know that wealth comes in all shapes and sizes? Today, we're ditching the stereotypes and exploring the fascinating world of the 15 different types of rich people. Let's discover how not all wealth is created equally. All right, let's talk about the just got rich crowd. You know the type. They're young, they're hungry, and they just struck it big. Think crypto millionaires, NFT artists, even some lucky YouTubers. They're living proof that becoming rich quickly is possible. But here's the thing, sudden wealth doesn't come with a manual. They're figuring it out as they go, and sometimes that means making some big mistakes. We're talking impulse buys on Lambos, dropping thousands on designer clothes, and thinking the money will never run out. They haven't quite figured out that true wealth is about building something that lasts, not just flashing cash. Now, these are the folks who understand that real wealth is a marathon, not a sprint. They're not flashy, they're not loud. They're quietly building their empire brick by brick. You see them at every open house. You see them poring over property listings. They're obsessed with finding the next great deal. They're willing to sacrifice short-term gratification for long-term gains. They might not be driving a Ferrari, but they're building a portfolio of properties that will generate wealth for generations to come. And that, my friends, is the ultimate power move. Let's be real, the world of trading and hedge funds is intense. These are the folks who live and breathe the markets, constantly analyzing data, placing bets, and riding the waves of financial risk. They're the ones with 3 monitors on their desks, constantly refreshing Bloomberg terminals and talking about things like short squeezes and derivatives. It's a high-pressure, high-reward world, and it takes a certain kind of personality to thrive in it. But when they win big, they win big. We're talking 7-figure bonuses, private jets, the whole 9 yards. But remember, it's a volatile game, and even the most seasoned traders can lose it all in the blink of an eye. Chapter 4, Royal Family Rich. This is old money, folks. We're talking generations of wealth passed down through lineage and tradition. They're not out there chasing trends or trying to impress anyone. They've got nothing to prove. You can spot them by their impeccable manners, their understated elegance, and their air of quiet confidence. They're patrons of the arts, they're involved in philanthropy, and they carry themselves with a sense of duty and responsibility that comes with inheriting a legacy. Chapter 5, Tech Rich. The tech geniuses. These are the innovators, the disruptors, the ones who see the world differently. They're the ones who built empires out of lines of code and revolutionary ideas. Think Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, the list goes on. They're not motivated by money, but by the challenge, the puzzle, the sheer thrill of creating something new. They're early adopters of every gadget. They're always on the cutting edge of technology, and they're constantly pushing the boundaries of what's possible. Chapter 6, Philanthropy Rich. These are the folks who understand that true wealth isn't about how much you accumulate, it's about how much you give back. They've already achieved financial success, and now they're using their resources to make a difference in the world. They're funding groundbreaking research, they're fighting for social justice, they're providing access to education and healthcare in underserved communities. They're not afraid to get their hands dirty, they're passionate about their causes, and they're using their wealth to create a positive impact. Chapter 7, Celebrity Rich. We all know the story. They skyrocket to fame, they're making millions, and then just as quickly it all vanishes. The world of celebrity is fickle, and maintaining wealth in the spotlight is no easy feat. They're under constant pressure to maintain their image. They're surrounded by yes-men, and they're often making poor financial decisions under the influence of bad advice or bad habits. Some manage to stay afloat, but for many, the lifestyle they once enjoyed becomes a distant memory. Chapter 8, Trust Fund Rich. These are the children of the wealthy, the ones who grew up with silver spoons and never had to worry about money. But here's the thing, being born into wealth is a double-edged sword. Some inherit their parents' work ethic, they're driven to achieve success in their own right, and they use their privilege for good. Others Well, let's just say they haven't quite grasped the concept of hard work. They're more interested in spending their inheritance than growing it, and they often end up squandering their wealth on frivolous things. Chapter 9. Don't ask questions rich. This is where things get a little shady, folks. These are the folks whose wealth is shrouded in mystery. Maybe they made their fortune in industries with questionable ethics. Maybe they have a colorful past they'd rather not talk about, or maybe they just like to keep their business dealings private. Whatever the reason, they're not eager to share the details of their financial success. They're often involved in legitimate businesses now, but there's always a hint of something else lurking beneath the surface. Chapter 10. Serial Entrepreneur Rich. These are the restless souls, the ones who are always chasing the next big thing. They're not satisfied with just one successful business. They need to keep building, keep innovating, keep pushing the envelope. They thrive on the challenge, the excitement of taking an idea from concept to reality. They're the ones who are always juggling multiple projects. They're constantly networking, and they're always brimming with new ideas. Chapter 11. Can't tell rich. You could walk past them on the street and never know they were millionaires. They're the quiet wealthy, the ones who blend in with the crowd. They drive sensible cars, they live in modest homes, and they're not interested in flashing their wealth. They're content with their financial security, and they'd rather enjoy their wealth quietly than flaunt it to the world. Chapter 12. All in rich. These are the risk takers, the gamblers, the ones who put it all on the line and came out on top. They might have invested everything in a single stock, a single real estate deal, or a single business venture, and it paid off big time. They're living proof that sometimes taking a calculated risk is all it takes to achieve massive success. But remember, for every all-in rich individual, there are countless others who took the same gamble and lost it all. Which type of rich will you be? So there you have it, 15 different types of rich people, each with their own unique story, their own path to wealth, and their own relationship with money. We hope this list inspired you to see wealth in a new light. Remember, the journey to becoming wealthy doesn't follow a single path. It's about finding what works for you, playing to your strengths, and building a life